What up, YouTube? It's your boy ProTech, man. Back with another one today, man. Hope everyone having a great Monday afternoon. Hope everyone having a safe one. Staying safe, staying healthy on these streets, man. Hope we're having a blessed day. Today's live stream is gonna be several topics I want to talk about today. I do want to talk about it. It's gonna be kind of a it is an NFL, just in general NFL stream. There's gonna be a lot of Washington football news in this stream today. A lot of new things that have developed over the past 24 to 48 hours. As you see on the thumbnail, I will be talking about Alex Smith. I did make a Alex Smith video yesterday. I wanted to go much more in depth about his return. What does that mean for Dwayne Haskins? What does that mean for Kyle Allen? Pros and cons with each quarterback. Also giving you things I think you need to work on. Yeah, pros and cons. So what they do well, what they don't do well, they need to work on. And I will give you my synopsis who the starting quarterback of the Washington football team should be. Also, I will talk about Jerry McCoy's injury that happened this morning. I will talk about that very briefly. I'll have a video about that later on today as well. And I will talk about Trey Waynes' injury as well. And just general football news. Jason Wright's hiring as team president of the Washington football team. There's a bunch of football stuff to talk about today. The guys are putting the pads on now in training camp. Also, I really want to talk about something I did not talk about. How would the college football schedule conflict with the NFL schedule? Then we'll talk about that kind of briefly as well. A bunch of stuff I want to talk about today, man. A bunch of topics. If you have pulled to the stream, just say welcome, say hello, whatever, all that good jazz. Thank you to everyone that does pull up, man. Thank you to all the new subscribers who have subscribed to the channel. I very appreciate y'all. And we're gonna get started with the news. So I'm gonna start with the actual stream, but shout out to Jason Wright, man. A fellow brother. He got hired as the team president of the Washington football team today. I'm very proud of the man. Youngest team president of football at under 40 years of age, at the age of 38. Former NFL running back, has played for the Browns, Cardinals, Niners, I think, and I forgot the other team he played for. But he played for different teams in the NFL. He played 7 years in the NFL. Former NFL running back. He got his MBA degree out of UC Chicago. And then he started his business career, and now he's taking a step further. Now he's combining his former football life and his current business and his life together into one entity. And now he's the team president of a franchise who's in disarray right now. So I do shout out to Jason Wright for taking the job. I do shout out to Dan Snyder for hiring this man. I really think he's a really great fit. I like what I like his eloquency when he talks. He's a very eloquent guy. Seems very positive. Seems really go getter type of attitude. Really good mentality. I like what Jason Wright brings to the table, and I really think it's a great fit. I do think it's a great fit for the Washington franchise. They need a guy who's going to be a leader on the business side of things as well. They had the leader in the locker room in Ron Rivera. Now you need the leader of the front office. You have a leader in the front office now. I think that means for Kyle Smith, I think he's going to get promoted to GM now. I really think that means that Julie Donaldson is now now going to do her thing with the whole media thing. So you have a media leader in Julie Donaldson. You have your front office leader in Jason Wright. And then you have your locker room leader in Ron Rivera. So now the organization is really starting to come together in my eyes. There's no Bruce Allen's walking through this door. There's no Vinny Serratos. There's no nothing to spoil the potential of this franchise. I remember 2015, 2016 against Scott McCloughan here. We thought we were going the right direction, and then Bruce Allen ruined it. Now there's no Bruce Allen to run anything, and Dan's going to pretty much stay out the way. From what I see, Dan just keep his mouth shut, shut the heck up, and let the football people do their thing, and let the media people do their thing, and let Jason Wright and his guys do their thing in the front office. So I like what they built. They kept Doug Williams here. They kept Kyle Smith. They got rid of Alex Santos for good reason. He wanted to be getting the scandals. Larry Michael's no longer here for good reason. He's also part of the scandal. And now you got some guys, you got some people, you got a wonderful young woman and Julie Donaldson and a couple really good young guys and Jason Wright. and relatively young Ron Rivera, heading the steam, heading the ship. So I do like what they're bringing to the Washington franchise, and I think the sky's the limit for this team and this franchise. I really do. I really see some good things coming from this. And I think Jason Wright was the perfect hire. Young, up and coming, hungry, ready to go. So I like that a lot. So now I'm gonna talk the quarterback battle. It's gonna be very interesting as uh as things come along in camp. Now with Alex being officially healthy, he's still kind of limping a little bit. I did kind of see a slight limp when he walked out the house with his family and got the champagne poured on him and all that good jazz. That was a beautiful video, by the way. I'm very happy for Alex, like I've stated, but he does have a slight limp. But he's at practice. He's practicing. He's doing individual drills. And now we have a quarterback controversy / competition. So I'm going to give you the pros and cons to every quarterback in the depth chart. I think the depth chart should go right now. Dwayne, Cal, and then Alex. Right. I'm going to give you the pros and cons to each quarterback right now. And I'm going to give you my synopsis who's going to win the job. I think it's pretty obvious who I think. I already talked about this yesterday, but I will give you a much more in-depth analysis on it right now. So I'm going to start with Dwayne Haskins, right? Pros. Arm strength. Incredible arm strength. He has a cannon of an arm. He's just really, really good at he's really good with throwing the deep ball. Can throw 40, 50 yards in his sleep. You shoot that deep ball against the Jets to Terry McLaurin. That was a thing with beauty. You saw a couple of nice deep balls too. Nice zip on the ball from short to intermediate. A little too much zip sometimes, but nice zip on the ball, short to intermediate. Really nice deep ball. He can throw the ball. He has a really, really great arm strength. Also, his mobility is very underrated. Sometimes on 3rd and 10, Dwayne doesn't see anything. He kind of gets out of dodge. Eric's playing coverage. That's when you know he's getting 11 yards and getting a first down. And he's slimmed down a little bit now, too. So he should be a little more mobile than he was last year. So I think that's also a strength for Dwayne Haskins. Also, his chemistry with the receivers. He's played with Terry in college. Sorry, Kelvin Harmon towards ACL, but he's played with Kelvin Harmon at high school. He's been practicing with Steven Sims for a while now during the offseason. And he's been practicing with Antonio Gandy Golden as well. So he has that chemistry with the wide receiving core, which does help him a ton. Oh my goodness. And those are my 3 big pros for Dwayne. His arm strength, the chemistry with the receivers, and also his dedication to the game. Like he's slimmed down a bit. He's been practicing a lot, working on his craft. And yeah, that's all the pros I have for Dwayne. Cons. Did not play that great last year in relief appearances. He had 4 picks in his 2 relief appearances. Made a ton of mistakes. Given the circumstance wasn't in the best for him to succeed, but it is what it is. You had a chance to play this opportunity. You kind of blew it. You threw 3 picks against the Giants. You threw 1 pick against the Vikings. But as he started, you saw progression of him getting better week after week, making less mistakes. Outside the Jets game, that's the one really bad game I think Dwayne had. Outside of that, he looked all right. He looked solid. Solid performance against Green Bay, even though they didn't win the game, and even though he did throw an interception. He scratched, clawed, and fought out there. The Eagles game, he played extremely well. The Giants game, he played extremely well before he did get injured. Also injuries. It's a slight con. He did get hurt last year with the ankle sprain. Didn't play the full 9 games he's supposed to start. But it is what it is. I see some good things from Dwayne. I see some bad things from Dwayne. But I do think Dwayne Haskins can be a guy who can be a franchise quarterback. I think he has the biggest upside of all 3 of these guys in the quarterback room right now. And I think he should be the one that should start. But I'm going to give you my pros and cons for Kyle Allen as well as Alex Smith. And like I said, I think Dwayne Haskins has the biggest upside of all 3 of these guys if I continue. But Cal Allen's pros and cons. Cal Allen, one pro, he has more experience than Dwayne does, and he's played well at times. Solid arm strength, not great arm strength, but solid. Pretty accurate from short to intermediate. Also, another pro about Cal is he knows his offense. He knows the offense. He knows the playbook. You know how thing goes. Also, Keys the Great. Thank you, Keys the Great, man. Thank you for your comment, bro. Facts. Big facts, man. I do think that Dwayne Haskins should be the starter. But I wanted to still break down the other two quarterbacks and explain why they have a chance to start because it's only fair to explain that. So yeah, with Kyle Allen, like I said, played well at times in the league. Had some really big games, some 4 touchdown games, something Dwayne has not had in the league yet. Also, he's shown some really good things on the field with his accuracy from short and intermediate. His deep ball is a little sputtery sometimes, but it'll do the trick. It'll do the trick. And I think in spot duty, he's a really good backup quarterback. Just not long term starting material. That's my number one pro. My number one con with Kyle Allen. He's just not a long term solution at quarterback. I just don't think so. He'll play some really good 4 weeks of football for you, maybe 5 weeks, and then he has a stinker there, and another stinker there, and he plays okay for a half, and then he's just inconsistent. You just don't see Kyle Allen be your 16-game starter due to lack of consistency. He'll throw 4 touchdowns one week and then go throw four picks next week. So you can't really trust Kyle Allen to be productive consistently week after week. So that's why I don't think he's a starting quarterback. So I don't think he's going to win this job. I'm gonna get to Alex now, and I'm gonna explain why this Alex should not start. All right, so pros with Alex. Great game manager. Very, very, very cautious with the football. Very judicious with the football. Doesn't make too many interceptions. Doesn't make too many mistakes. Doesn't turn the ball over a lot. Another pro about Alex's experience. He's very, very, very experienced with what he does. Knows offenses, can learn offenses very quickly. And he's seen it all. He's seen it all from everything. Dwayne Haskins is the future. I definitely agree with you. Most definitely. But my thing with Alex is that he's seen it all. He's been in the league for over a decade and a half, darn near. And he's seen everything, every single offense, every single call. He's played in playoff games before. All that. He's seen it all. He's played in the conference championship games. He has seen it all but a Super Bowl. He's seen it all, simply put. Cons with Alex. Alex's age. He's 36. Never con. He's going for a nasty injury. Never con. And it's the number one con. Your offense is limited with Alex. He doesn't throw the deep ball well. Not as well as I want my starting quarterback to do. Like, example, if you watch the 2018 Week 3 game, I think. Was it Week 3? Yeah, Week 3. Skins played the Packers. Play action fake on a third and 8. Paul Richardson is wide open. You cannot miss Paul Richardson for damn. He underthrows Paul Richardson. It's like a 30-yard pass. It's like, come on, man. Like, but the year before, he's throwing bombs to Tyreek Hill easily. I think his arm strength was diminished a ton between 2017 and 2018 because he did not. That deep ball did not look good at all. That thing against Green Bay, that Paul Richardson was a bad pass. And then his leg being hurt does hurt your arm strength because you have to plant your foot to throw. So I just don't see it, man. I just don't see Alex being a starter anymore. Not in this league anyway. He's 36, coming off a nasty injury. I do think Alex can come in if Dwayne got hurt. He can come in and play well for a week or two. But I just don't see him being a 16-game starter. I just don't see it anymore. To me, he's one of the best backups in football. He'll come in and play well for you. He'll come in and not make mistakes, manage the game, be very judicious with the football, but be very careful with the football, move the offense up to get some points on the board here and there, let your defense be the catalyst and not be a deterrent. He's just a really solid option as a backup, but to me, he's not a starter. That's what it is with me. And then his leg, he's still limping. So is he really going to be healthy in time for week 1? Gotta think about that. So I just don't see it, man. This is Dwayne Haskins' job to lose, and there's no way in hell he's going to lose his job to a very secure quarterback coming off a nasty injury. I just don't. Because if Dwayne doesn't win this job, yeah, it's not a good look. But I do think this is Dwayne's job to lose. I don't really think it's a quarterback competition per se. But I do. It's a competition, but it's not. I don't think it's a competition for who's the starter. It's a competition though. But low key, I think it's for the backup position. I think Alex Smith and Kyle Allen's going to fight for the backup position. And Alex Smith is kind of in the mix to be the starter, but I don't think he'll get enough reps with the starters to play in week one, number one. Number two, is so much a higher ceiling with Dwayne Haskins than Alex Smith. And number three, and most importantly, Dwayne has chemistry with these guys. He's played with Terry before. He's played with Stevenson last year. He's been thrown to Gandy Golden all off season long. And he has chemistry with the offensive line. Outside maybe Sadiq Charles, he's played with Sheriff. He's played with Moses. He's played with Roulier. He's played with Wes Martin. He's played with these guys. He knows what these guys are about. You know what I mean? Alex hasn't played a game in 2 years. You expect him to be a starter? Hell no, it's not happening. So I think Ron was just putting it out there just to give Alex some confidence and give him a confidence booster. I think Alex did need that. He's coming back off a horrific injury. He's coming off one of the toughest parts of his life. Almost lost his life. He was in sepsis at one point. My mom died of sepsis, so I understand what Alex was going through. So yeah, it's a miracle, and I'm happy for Alex, but it's not mean he's going to be a starting quarterback ever again. You can book that. So that wraps that up. Now I'm going to talk about some injuries that happened today, some huge ones. According to many sources, Trey Waynes, cornerback of the Cincinnati Bengals, new addition to the Cincinnati Bengals organization. They paid him 3 years, $42 million, which is way too much money for a corner of his caliber. I don't think Trey Waynes is that great. I think he's a solid starter corner, but he's not $14 million. Like that's kind of how Washington kind of overpaid for Josh Norman. Like it's kind of like that, but not as bad. He did tear his pec today. Bad news for Cincinnati, as he was one of their big free agent acquisitions. They were looking for him. And other kid they picked up, Mackenzie Alexander, picked up 2 Vikings corners this offseason. Him and McKenzie and I think no, it wasn't Denard. I think it was Kurt Fitzpatrick, I think. Those 3 to be your starting 3 corners. And Jesse Bates being your safety. And that secondary gonna look solid. Now it took a major hit because Trey Waynes is gonna be the number 1 corner. They paid him number 1 corner money. You're going to be a number 1 corner, and now it's hurt. That hurts a ton. Bad news for Bengals fans. I'm sorry to hear that. And I hope Trey Waynes does recover as quickly as possible. But his 2020 season is done. I don't see him playing a single down 2020. That had to hurt. That stung because you just paid him all this money. And the first year that he's under contract, you're not going to have him. So that does kind of suck, honestly. And Jerry McCoy, D tackle for the Dallas Cowboys. Another acquisition for them this offseason. They acquired him and Everson Griffen, so I'll be talking about later on in this live stream, in my opinions, when I pick up. Yo, man, calm down, bro. Live, chill. Oh, sorry, I'm roommate. Sorry. Yeah. So, I was talking about, I'm talking about Jerry McCoy. He tore his ACL today. Bad news for Cowboys fans. Not bad news for me, but bad news for Gerald. I hope he does recover as quickly as possible. But that. All right. Sorry, I'm just replying to something real quick. Sorry about that. But yeah, so Jerry McCoy did tear his ACL today. MRI is pending, but it sounds like an ACL tear. It sounds like bad news. This does hurt the defensive line depth a bit for the Cowboys, but they signed a lot of defensive linemen. They still got Tyrone Crawford too. So this hurts a bit, but it's not as detrimental to the Cowboys as Trey Wayne's injury is to the Bengals. That was devastating for the Bengals cornerback depth. This hurts a bit. You still got Dante Poe, still got Tyrone Crawford, still got Everson Griffen, still got D-Law. So I think they're fine. I don't think this kills a defensive line depth at all. It does hurt a bit though, most definitely. So I'm talking about the guys that got paid over the weekend, over the last about 4 or 5 days or so. But I haven't talked about it on my channel yet, so I do want to talk about that and my opinions on it. Shout out to George Kittle, man. Shout out to George Kittle. He got paid big time. 5 years, $75 million, $15 million a season for a tight end. He deserves it though, man. I really do think that George Kittle's arguably the best tight end in football, and he's not stopping anytime soon. Super productive, super reliable. One of Jimmy Garoppolo's best targets, if not their best target on the team. I think he is the best target on the team by far. 3rd and 8, throw it to Kittle for 9. He gets a first down. In the red zone, you need 3rd and goal from the 5 for almost slant in the end zone. Even now they added Jordan Reed to that mix now too. If Jordan Reed is really healthy, they had probably the best tight end duo in football. This is good for George Kittle. He doesn't worry about getting hurt and not getting paid. He deserves it. I do wish him greater pastures in his career as he continues to build his legacy. This is incredible. I'm happy for George, man, and definitely deserves it, most stuff. Another guy got paid over the weekend. Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark, defensive tackle for the Green Bay Packers, got paid. We're looking at 4 years, $70 million. So you're looking at almost 17 per, maybe a little bit more than that. Yeah, you're looking at 17.5 per. That's a lot of money for Kenny Clark. Most disruptive defensive lineman on their team by far. It did lose Blake Martinez to the Giants. They lost some other defensive pieces as well. They still have Adrian Amos, still have Jair Alexander. It did lose Josh Jackson. I think they're gonna move on from Josh Jackson. He's been very super productive for them. And like I said, they still got Darnell Savage, the first round pick out of Maryland. They still have some good defensive pieces, and Kenny Clark was one of those guys you had to kind of lock up. So that was definitely a must have to really lock him up long term. And I'm happy for Kenny. Kenny definitely deserves it. Like I said, he's the most disruptive guy on the defensive line by far. I know you got the Smith twins and all that. Don't get me wrong, but Kenny Clark, like interior defensive lineman, he was the most disruptive by far on that football team. He literally knifed through backfields. He literally pushed through double teams. He was incredible. Good deal for the Packers. Good deal for Kenny Clark. I'm happy that they had their defensive nucleus intact with Adrian Amos, Darnell Savage, Jair Alexander, Preston Smith, Jadarius Smith, and now Kenny Clark are all locked up long term for the most part. I think except for Jair, I think Jair might be his contract might be run out in a couple of years. I think it's the one last year. This year he has the fifth year option, I think. So I think his contract might be kind of up soon. But I think they're gonna rip on Jair anyway. Jair's been playing great football, so I think they're gonna lock him up too. Well, sorry, I'm choking on something. It's weird. Sorry about that. But also Dion Dawkins, tackle for the Bills, got paid a ton of money over the weekend. 4 years, $60 million, 15 per. Definitely deserves it. He's the anchor of one of the best offensive lines in football. Not probably top 10 to 12 offensive line. He's not top 5. The Bills offensive line is, but he's an anchor of a really good line. And he's blocking Josh Allen. Now you add Stephon Diggs to the mix along with Cole Beasley and John Brown. You add Zach Moss to the mix. Dion Dawkins' contract was kind of on the running out side of the contract, on the back end of the contract. So going to re-up on a guy like that is very important to keep your line intact, something that teams don't do enough. I'm glad that the Bills did that and locked him up long term. And he's there for another 4 years. So It's always good to see. Also, Travis Kelce got extended. I don't know the details of that deal, but I don't think it's close to Kittle's deal. I don't think. But good move by the Chiefs. Now you have Tyreek there long term, at least for the next 2 or 3 years. You have Travis there for at least a couple more years, and also you still have Sammy Watkins there for at least this season. Damian Williams is gone after this season, but you drafted Clyde Edwards-Helaire out of LSU to probably replace Damian Williams there in Kansas City. And now you have all the weapons pretty much locked up for a while for Patrick Mahomes to really destroy the NFL by storm. So I'm really happy for Travis Kelce as well. He got paid and definitely deserves it. Now I'm gonna talk about this Everson Griffen deal. 1 year, $6 million. First off, why did Minnesota not keep this guy? Number one, I know it's lacking on cap space, but look, you gotta keep your own. I don't get this. 1 year, $6 million, and you could not call Everson Griffen to get a deal done for one more year? Come on, son. The Cowboys got still here. This is ridiculous. I think Everson had eight and a half sacks last year for Minnesota. I'm not sure he's gonna have the same production here because this is a 3-4 defense there. And I think he played a 4-3 in Minnesota, I believe. He's also a 3-4 in Dallas. Don't quote me on that. But I do think that he's a nice fit. I don't think he's the best fit in the world, but he will be productive. He's still disruptive. He's more of a power rusher, not a speed type of guy. But with D-Law's speed and his power, it's a nice combination. Rushing the passer, they needed that after losing Robert Quinn last year to Chicago. So them losing Robert Quinn this offseason, they got Everson Griffen for at least 1 year, and he's going to probably wreak havoc on the NFC East. Right tackles in the NFC East. You got Nate Solder. Not Nate Solder. Yeah, Nate Solder actually opted out. So whoever's starting at tackle for the Giants on the right hand side, we know Andrew Thomas on the left hand side. Washington starting Morgan Moses, which is kind of a slow guy and not the most powerful guy in the world. He doesn't anchor the best in the world, but he's a solid anchor guy in pass protection. But I don't know if Everson Griffen. I don't think you can handle Everson Griffen, man. That's a different animal. You have Lane Johnson starting in Philadelphia. And yeah, so those are 3 starting tackles on the right hand side. He will probably struggle against Lane Johnson a bit, but Morgan Moses, he might eat him up. I'm a Washington fan, but he might eat him up. He might eat him the hell up. I'm scared now. And then finally, I don't care who the hell you put on the right side of the Giants. Nate Solder was trash anyway. So the fact he already opted out, that's fine. But you have no depth behind him at right tackle, and you mean to tell me Everson Griffin's coming to this damn division and going to wreak havoc? Yeah, this is bad news. Really bad news. Giants fans, you might as well just go and chalk up 2 L's to Dallas because you're Daniel Jones gonna be he's not gonna get protected. You got rookie on the left hand side. You don't know who the hell on the right hand side. You got Everson Griffen and D-Law in Dallas. You got Chase Young and Montez Sweat in Washington. In big, you have Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox and freaking Derek Barnett and freaking Philly. The Giants are in trouble, okay? Let me say them all. I just say that they're in trouble. So yeah, I don't like that too much for the New York Giants. There, I've been there in Detroit with her. No cap. I really think, yeah, that's not good news at all. So what else I want to talk about today? I said Jason Wright. Talk about Jason Wright very briefly. Saw the Jared McCoy injury, Trey Wayne's injury, all the extensions that happened over the weekend. Oh yeah. All right. So let me talk about the whole college football situation again, but this time I'm gonna talk about it on the NFL side of things. Do you think this is a question to everyone that's watching the stream right now? You can answer in the comment section if you want. Also, the call-in numbers on the ticker if you want to call in You can definitely call in. My phone is right here, so you want to call me, go ahead and call us right there. And you can ask some questions, or whatever you want to ask. You can definitely ask that. So my question to you guys is: if the college football season is delayed to the spring, how does that affect the NFL schedule? Does the NFL still run normal with the draft and combine and all that, or do you think that we'll adjust to college football? I mean, hey, look, let's delay the Senior Bowl till April. Let's delay the combine till May, and let's have the draft in June. My opinion on that is that I don't think the NFL is going to adjust too much. Because I think most of the big names that are going to be going to the draft are going to declare. They're going to just opt out and declare. The Penn State linebacker already did it. I expect the guy from Oregon to do that. I expect Justin Fields to do that. I expect Trevor Lawrence to do it. I expect Travis Etienne to do it. I expect the wide receiver Devontae Smith out of Alabama to do it. But that Minnesota receiver to do it too. I expect all the first round picks, all the guys who get taken in the first round. I expect all of them to opt out and to declare for the 2021 draft. They're not playing this year. Those guys are not playing this year. I know Trevor Lawrence said he wants to play. I don't want to hear that shit. He's not playing this year. It's not happening. I say that because at the end of the day, let's just say Trevor does play. Tears ACL. How did it hurt his draft stock? Tua was the number one pick before he got hurt, and then he got drafted fifth. It didn't hurt that much, but he could have no more pick in the draft. Does that make sense? And everyone thinks that Trevor Lawrence is a consensus number one pick in the 2021 draft. Everyone I pulled up, thank you for putting to the stream. Comment that you're here. Thank you very much. I appreciate y'all. I thank all the new subscribers. Everyone that pulls every single live stream. Much love to all y'all. Thank you. And shout out to my man Keys the Great for hitting that subscribe button. Much love, my guy. I just saw it on my phone. Thank you very much, bro. But yeah, so I'm talking about the college football season and how it's going to affect the NFL season and why I think that is so. So let me continue what I was saying. So, with college football probably delaying their season, two of the Power 5 conferences already said they're postponing fall sports. Period. That includes college basketball and football, and I think lacrosse too. I think you get my point. Yeah, all those sports are going to be delayed. So, how does that affect the NFL? Like I said, I think number one, I think all the big names are going to opt out. So I said Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, the tackle out of Oregon, the Penn State linebackers are opted out. Says he's going to declare for the 2021 draft. His 2020 season is done. No matter when the hell they play it, he's not playing. I think a guy like Travis Etienne, he should definitely opt out as well. He's a running back too, so they kind of use up the running backs and kind of eat up all the carries of them and pretty much decrease their draft stock just off volume. So I think Travis Etienne should go ahead and opt out and go ahead and go in the draft. Trevor Lawrence should do the same. Justin Fields, all those guys. Like I said, Devontae Smith, all these potential first-round picks, they all should get the hell out of there. Get the hell out of Dodge. If you're an early second-round pick, I think you should do the same. If you're a game pick within the first 50 picks, according to your agent, get the hell out of college football now. Prepare for the draft. Do not waste your time because you're going to probably won't be playing to the spring, which in the NFL is not going to adjust too much to college football. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think they might delay the draft in a couple weeks. So if it's late April, you're talking like mid-May. That's about it. I don't think they're going to adjust more than that. And that's for the combine. If it's in middle of February, maybe the first week of March might be the latest they'll do the combine. In the Senior Bowl, they might do it around the time of the combine. It was supposed to be. But that's about it. I don't see them adjusting too much. They don't give a crap. The NFL is a big, bad bully. And you're going to do what the hell the NFL is going to do. So that being said, I do think that the guys who have high draft stock now, go ahead and opt out. Focus on the NFL. The college football season is not going to happen. At least not in the fall anyway for most of these Power 5 conferences. Now, if the SEC were to play in the fall and not the Big Ten and Pac-12, then that could be a slight problem. But if what I think is going to happen is going to happen, if all 5 power conferences go ahead and delay their season to the spring, these guys should opt out. The moment you hear that they're not playing in the fall, opt out. Focus on your classes. Focus on preparing for the draft, and focus on your future NFL career. Do not risk yourself of catching COVID, or even worse, catching COVID and getting injured on top of it for college football that you're not getting paid to do. So that is my opinion on that very briefly. I just don't think that these guys should risk their NFL career. Now, if you're a guy that's like a 6th-round pick and you want to increase your draft stock, okay. If you're a guy that you think they label as an undrafted free agent, that you think you're not going to get drafted, and you see these guys opt out, and you're going to get more playing time, and you have a chance to make a name of yourself, that's different. But like I said, if you Justin Fields, you're established first round pick. You don't need to play. If you are Trevor Lawrence, you don't need to play. If you're Travis Etienne, you don't need to play. If you are Devontae Smith, you don't need to play. If you're Jamar Chase, you don't need to play. You don't. Now, do you want to put some more film out there? Because the only film you'll have if you're Jamar Chase is the national championship game. That's different. But if you're a guy like Justin Fields, man, if you're a quarterback, especially, get the hell out of there. Because you're probably going to first round pick anyway. Look at Tua. Tua got messed up and got hurt, and he still was the 5th pick in the draft. He got picked before Justin Herbert. Like I said, look at Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow was able to 6th-round pick. You can look at both sides of the spectrum. You can look at you keep your draft stock high, or you have a chance to increase it. So, for example, with Joe Burrow he looked like a 5th-round pick, 6th-round pick going into the season. He plays a miraculous season, Heisman Trophy winner, national champion. Now he's the 1st pick in the draft. See how that goes? So some of these guys who are labeled 5th, 6th-round picks, you might want to go ahead and play because you can increase your draft stock by playing, and you'll increase it even more because these guys are already opted out, so they don't get no extra film on these guys. They get extra film on you. It gives you the chance to shine more, which gives you the chance to increase your draft stock. So it all depends, but my thing is this: for the safety of the players, they definitely should delay the season. The fall season, this COVID crap's gonna get worse. I really predict that, to be honest with you. Like, as the temperatures start to drop, you go into fall, then you go even fall into winter, it's going to get bad. You don't know what the hell you're catching out there. Most people think they're gonna have the flu. And what's gonna happen is they're gonna think they have the flu, they're going to stay home and quarantine and be around their family. Their family's gonna catch it. And then they go to work. And that's how a pandemic goes to an epidemic. So yeah, it's gonna get bad. So just for the safety of the players, for the safety of the coaches that are older, and I think Nick Saban's in his 60s. He catches COVID, it could really go hell in a handbasket real quick for him. Just delay the season. It ain't the time for sports that can't go into a bubble. If you can't go into a bubble and you're not getting paid for it, don't play these kids. Play these kids. Stay at home, virtual learn, finish their semesters out, get the degrees, go about their life. So that's my opinion on that one. I think anything I want to talk about in this stream if I get out of here. I think that's about it, honestly. I want to talk about. Oh, yeah. So I'm gonna give you some sleepers for the in the 2020 draft that I think is gonna really contribute right away. I'm gonna give you a couple of them. I did a stream about this a couple months ago, but just due to COVID and everything being delayed and all this other crap going on right now in the world, people probably didn't see that stream. So I'm going to talk about that very briefly here. I'm going to wrap up everything in a bow, do the outro, and I'm out of here. All right, so look, I'm going to give you 5 players that I think are going to be very, 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 very productive in 2020 that are not first-round picks. None will be first-round picks, and I'll give you where they were drafted at and why I think they'll be productive. So number 1, to me, Adam Trautman out of Dayton. He got drafted by the Saints in the 3rd round, late 3rd round, early 4th round. I think he'll be really productive for this team. Why? One, they drafted him so high for a reason. They want him to splash him into the offense. You have Michael Thomas there, so Michael Thomas is going to get the double teams and get the double coverage, right? So that leaves up someone to be wide open. Emmanuel Sanders also demands a lot of attention, so he'll get the second best cornerback on every single team every single week. So now you have Jared Cook, one-on-one linebackers. So guess who's one-on-one linebackers as well? Adam Trotman. So I think he's gonna be really, really productive. He has really good hands. He runs routes pretty well. He was probably the best tight end coming out of the class this year. I know Thad Moss had the best hands, but overall best tight end definitely is Adam Trotman. Man, I think he's gonna be really productive for the Saints. He's not gonna get too much attention. Like I said, you got Michael Thomas there, you got Kamara there, you got Emmanuel Sanders there now. You have Jared Cook. He's not going to get that much attention. He's not. He's a rookie, and he's going to get one-on-one coverage with linebackers, and he's going to eat. Simple. Number 2 will be Zach Moss, running back for the Bills. He's a third-round pick. Him and Devin Singletary are going to share carries. That means he's going to see some playing time. He's going to see some opportunities to make plays, and he is like a bowling ball. So he is literally the thunder to Devin Singletary's lightning. So if you know that analogy with Michael Turner, LT, and guys like Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman, guys like those type of duos of running backs like that, they call them thunder and lightning. So I really think that the lightning is the and the thunder is boom, 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 bowling ball type of running back. So I think Zach Moss with his physical running style will be a perfect fit in Buffalo to be running on first and second down while Devin Singletary will get more of the sweeps, the screen, to catch on the backfield, all that type of stuff. And he'll get some carries as well. So perfect fit for Buffalo. I really think he's going to be really, really productive in year 1. Number 3, Antonio Gandy Golden, drafted by the formerly known Washington Redskins in the 4th round. I think he was the 116th pick in the NFL draft, early 4th round pick, right after they drafted Sadiq Charles with the 102 pick. So he might have 142. 142 is what it was. He seems like he's going to be the number 2 wide receiver behind Terry McLaurin in Washington. Steven Sims has the slot on lock, to be honest. You don't have any tight ends you can really speak as going to be productive for you. You got the running backs that you like, but Antonio Gandy Golden, due to lack of tight end presence there in Washington, I think he's going to get a lot more targets than most rookies would have. Like I said, outside Terry, nothing really scares you. I think Steven Sims is really good. But people sleeping on him. So since they're sleeping on Steven Sims like that, I do think that Antonio Gandy Golden is going to get a lot of single coverage. They're going to double Terry. That's what they're going to do. They're going to double Terry. They're going to force Dwayne to go elsewhere with the football. So I think Sims and Gandy Golden is going to eat. I think Gandy Golden, due to his size, his catch radius, catching balls at in the red zone, high point of football, things of that nature, I really think he's going to be very productive in this offense because in the red zone, you throw him a fade, he's 6'4", 6'5". Who's catching over? You know what I mean? In the red zone, throwing a slant to him. Who's going to body Antonio Gandy Golden? No one. So he's going to be very productive in the red zone, get a lot of receiving touchdowns within 10 to 15 yards of the end zone. And I think he's going to be really, really productive for the team. I do like what he does a lot, man. His skill set is the perfect complement to Terry McLaurin. Number 4, another guy that I do like a lot. Zach Bond, another New Orleans Saints rookie. Kid came out of Wisconsin, 3rd round pick. Nice pass rusher / linebacker. He's really good at blitzing, really good at knifing through backfields, coming off blitzes, like I said, really good blitzer, really good tackler. I mean, really productive for the Saints because he can blitz, he can tackle. He can cover a little bit, but not that much. But when it comes to blitzing and just tackling in the run game, he's going to be incredible. He'll have 100+ tackles. You can book that right now. 100+ tackles. He can make force fumble too. I think he's a really nice fit to what they have in Demario Davis and crew in there in New Orleans. And then my final rookie that I have and then the last rookie we gotta have. This is an interesting one. Really trying to think of this kid's name, man. Crap, I can't think of his name. I really can't think of it right now. This was gonna be a first round pick because I can't really think of this guy's name honestly. To be frank with you. Oh, I got it. KJ Hamler out of Denver. I do like what he's been doing as well. Um, Really fast guy, gadget guy. Reminds you a lot of Tavon Austin coming out of West Virginia, but it's a better route runner than Tavon, and a little bit polished of a player than Tavon Austin was coming out of school. And also, the other thing that I like about KJ Hamler is that he's not going to be the number one or number two target in Denver. That goes to Courtland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy. Okay, to Jerry Jeudy in the first round, and then Courtland Sutton's already the number one wide receiver in this league. So, Courtland's going to get doubled. You could book that. And Jerry Jeudy's going to get a lot of attention. He's a number one pick. He's a first round pick. And you got the kid Albert O at tight end along with Noah Fant. So there's a lot of weapons in Denver. So KJ Hamler's going to go right under the radar. I don't know who the heck he is. If it ain't signed Melvin Gordon, and they got Philip Lindsay. So yeah, they got weapons in there in Denver, man. And it's going to be very interesting to see how KJ Hamler fits in the offense. But I think with him not getting so much attention, easy catches on 3rd and 5, out routes, dig routes, drags, things like that on 3rd and 5. He can be that 3rd down guy where you just throw to him 3rd down, like a Jamison Crowder, like he was in Washington. Huge clutch catches on 3rd down to keep the drive going. And I think KJ Hamler can do that. He doesn't work on his hands. His hands aren't the best in the world. But he can be more polished. But just his speed and explosiveness coming off the line of scrimmage. And him probably having linebackers on him or the 3rd or 4th best corner on him, he should be very productive in those matchups. So I like KJ Hamler too. Another guy's Albert O out of Missouri, with the Denver Broncos as well. Another guy I like a lot too. It's another guy I really was interested in. Another guy maybe David Isiati, ICIC, out of New England. I think with Cam Newton there now, I think a lot of targets will get better. And he's another guy that not a lot of depth at tight end for the New England Patriots. So I do think he's going to get a lot of tight end targets. And Cam loves his tight ends. Like he loved Greg Olsen in Carolina. So I think he's going to try to find a tight end he really likes and really feed him the football on 3rd downs and make a lot of big plays for 1st downs. So Julian Edelman and Mohamed Sanu was getting targets. Was it Jalen Johnson out of out of Chicago? I liked him a lot too. Michael Pittman Jr. coming out of Indianapolis, that rookie receiver out of USC. Liked him a lot too. It's a lot of players like outside the 1st round. I really think this draft is going to have a lot of boomers, a lot of big play guys come out this draft. I think this draft class is going to be really good. And I'm really looking forward to see what these kids can do. Also, another guy, Antonio Gibson, another Washington rookie coming out of Memphis. I think he's going to be a really good guy, really versatile. Swiss Army, that type of guy. So, comment your thoughts on that. Let me know what you think about these rookies coming out of school and going to the NFL. And I think I'm out of here, man. So, view, comment, subscribe if you are new, man. Tell post notification when catch a Protest Sports video, man. Put God first. Stay out the way. Stay safe with this COVID-19, man. Stay healthy. And always remember you're the most athletic or talented in your sport of choice. You want your professional, technical, fundamentally sound. You will always overcome the lack of talent and athleticism with hard work and dedication. Protect fantasy and like always. I'm out of here. Have a great one. And next stream will probably be later on this week, like Thursday or something. So catch my blog. My blog is in the description. I did post stuff on my blog today. Also, check my podcast on Anchor. That is in the description down below. And one more thing before Protest Run, if I get out of here. Look, guys, I do have a giveaway video. That's also in the description. All you have to do is two things, actually three. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet. Also, like the giveaway video and share your favorite video of mine to your friends and family via social media. And tag me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is in the description as well. So follow me on Instagram if you ain't following on Instagram, and just do that real quick. And comment done on the giveaway video that you see on YouTube. Hit done on that. The giveaway does end in 4 days, so please do that, man. If you enter and you win, you do win a jersey of your favorite football team or NBA team, and also a keychain and a random thing of Redskins merch because the Redskins have changed their name, of course. So I do want to give something someone can invest in for long term purposes that you can keep and hold on to, and as that team's as that old name's gear gets scarce, you can sell that for some money and make you some extra bread in your pocket, and you're getting it for free. So yeah, man, that is the giveaway. So go into that giveaway down below in the description. Have a great one. Stay safe, man. I'm out of here. Catch you guys on the next stream. Catch you guys on the next video. I'm out, bro. Peace.